Majority always asks questions. Nobody asks them any question, why they do like this or why they do like that. But if you are different and if you are small in numbers, every time, at every step, you are asked. Why you look like this? Why you dress like this? Why you eat like this? Why you walk like this? Why you talk like that? Why you do this? Why you do that? So the whole day you have to keep answering those questions. And sometimes you get tired. So the easy thing is to just become part of the majority. Easy thing is to just become part of that majority. And then particularly when all the opportunities are there in majority. In old times, all the services, the jobs, the positions, everything was in their hand. If you are part of them, you are qazi. If you are part of them, you are soldier. If you are part of them, you are general. If you are part of them, then you have another position in another service. But if you are not part of them, then the chances are you don't have job, you don't have security, and you don't have that honor of having any high position in the society. So my brothers and sisters, we don't know the sacrifices given by our ancestors. Just this love of Masjid-e-Ali Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. To just take the names, these holy names, they have gone through a lot. So many of them were martyred, so many of them were persecuted, and they had to run away from their own land. Madinatul Nabi was Madinatul Sadat. Meaning if there was a choice, no one from Ahlul Bayt would leave Medina. We are talking about Imam Hussain and Abul Fadl al-Abbas and Imam Sajjad. And whenever you talk about them, so it becomes masaib. It's very difficult to even address the jashan of these personalities. When you talk about their fada'il, you start crying. And their masaib are their fada'il. If you look at their masaib are actually their fada'il. And their fada'il are their masaib. These are very unique and different kind of individuals. So, our ancestors started this program and they told us that we need to talk about the lives of these personalities and then learn the purpose of our existence. Why do we exist? And always you mention dua of Janabe Sayyida Salamullah Alayha. Sayyida had asked only these two things. One, a son like Abbas, and one, these people that who will sit and who will cry on her son, who will remember her son and his sacrifice. एक सलावत पढ़ लीजिए बाबा. So, when we hold these events, we have so much to talk about. Time is limited, but we have fazail to talk, we have masaib, we have aqaid, history, ideology, we have teachings of Ahlul Bayt, we have their seerah, we have their message, we have their mission, and then our obligations. That what are our obligations toward Ahlul Bayt? Ahlul Bayt kept their commitment with Allah and with their community. Allah kept His commitment with Ahlul Bayt. Allah kept His commitment. You remember me and I will remember you. Hussain remembered Allah, even in that sajda which was the most difficult sajda of his life. But then what happened? Allah said, if you remember me like this, I will remember you until the day of judgment. And there will be millions and billions of people that who will always, as they will say, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadun Rasulullah, and they will pray and they will obey me, but they will take your name also. They will build my houses and they will build your houses also. If they will make my masajid, they will make Hussainiyat. They will make Imam Bargas. If they will pay zakat in my name, they will give nazar and niyaz, and they will put the sabils, and they will do all this. They will go out of way to spend in your name also. We had a great speaker. He was one of our leading speakers in Pakistan, Masjid-e-Ali Muhammad, Sayyid Azhar Hasan Zaidi. I spent some time with him, and he was my mentor when it comes to the speaking. And he was used to say that you take from Adam and come all the way to Khatam. None of these Anbiya have that many houses built in their name in this dunya as there are houses built in the name of Imam Hussain. And the budget of Imam Hussain is such that if all those Anbiya come back today, Imam Hussain can host them. Imam Hussain can host them. Hussain has a guest house and a guest home everywhere. He will say, Adam, you come here, you stay here. Nuh, you come and you stay here. Ibrahim, I have this place for you. Musa, this is for you. Isa, this is for you. Recite a salawat. And the budget which Hussain has, nobody else has that budget. Even a widow, even an orphan, even a faqir, even a miskeen who doesn't have anything for themselves, but they go out of way to bring in the name of Imam Hussain. You can, even if you experience the tabarruk, but the tabarruk offered in the name of Imam Hussain is going to be different than any other tabarruk. And if there is someone that who doesn't give, sometime go and ask in the name of Imam Hussain. You will see that person who doesn't give in any way, but in the name of Imam Hussain, if you ask, nobody can say no. That is the commitment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with Imam Hussain. But my brothers and sisters, we have also some obligations toward Imam Hussain. Today, whatever we have, our faith, our culture, our community, our customs, our practices, that is because of Imam Hussain. What do we do for Imam Hussain? What do we do for Imam Hussein's mission? Imam Hussain was a missionary man. He left Medina with a mission. He came with a mission. And then, if we really love him and if we want to support him, we need to support his mission. We need to volunteer ourselves and commit ourselves with the mission of Imam Hussain. Imam Hussain is greatest inspiration, my brothers and sisters. Sometime I was sitting with our fellow Christian and Jewish clergymen, and some of them, they know about our tradition. And when we tell them, and some of them, when they know even before, they are amazed that nobody has a man like Hussain. A man, one man, when Muharram enters, you know that wherever you are, no matter in which country you are, in which city you are, you just can't sit at your home. You have to start searching right and left, find a place where they are doing Hussain, Hussain. You take your wife, you take your elderly parents, you take your young children, whether it is day, whether it is night, whether it is warm, whether it is cold, but you go all the way and sit on that mat to remember Hussain. Imam Hussain is a great inspiration. Imam Hussain is a great power. Imam Hussain is a man that who can mobilize this entire community and can bring this community to the mission. But if Imam Hussain is presented in right way, that's the challenge. That if we can present Imam Hussain as a leader, as a community builder, as someone, the savior of Islam, savior of the community, someone that who is fighting for justice, someone that who is refining and reviving the community, or someone that who just doesn't have any mission and comes unprepared, gets killed, and our job is only to just cry for him. He doesn't have any legacy, he doesn't have any message, he doesn't have any mission. We don't have any responsibility toward him. All what we need is to do Hussain, Hussain. Hussain, Hussain is important. Hussain, Hussain is ibadat. And according to all of our fuqaha, it is afdal tareen ibadat. Afdal tareen ibadat is Hussain, Hussain, Hussain. But with marifat of Hussain. Knowing Hussain, acknowledging Hussain, recognizing Hussain, the position of Hussain, the standing of Hussain, the purpose of Hussain. That is what is important. And if we can present Imam Hussain today to the world, this world is actually in search of a Hussain. But they are not finding any Hussain. If we present Hussain to the world in its true spirit, then this world will welcome Hussain. Because Hussain has those qualities which go heart to heart. First thing is Hussain is selfless. You know, for a leadership, for a leader, the first thing is that leader must be selfless. The second thing is he must be transparent. Many times people lose their trust in their leaders because the leadership is not transparent. You come in Karbala and see this example. Imam Hussain is coming, he left Medina to Makkah and from Makkah to Iraq. Leaders always create the fake perceptions. They are master of projections. To keep people following, they always spread the news that, oh, so many people are with me. And here people are coming from east, and people are coming from west, and people are coming from north and south. And they don't want to share the real sad stories with them or any setback with them. Imam Hussain, when he left from Medina, he gave a speech. And he mentioned that it's going to be tough, it's going to be difficult, and only those that who are ready to give their lives in this cause, they should come. When he was leaving Makkah, he was very transparent. When he received the news of Shahadat of Muslim bin Aqil, that was a very sensitive news. Because everybody around Imam Hussain is now hoping that they are going to go to Kufa, and in Kufa everybody has done bay'at, and Kufa is going to be our base, and everyone in Kufa is with us. That's why those two people who had the news, when they were brought to Imam Hussain, and Imam Hussain asked them, tell us about Kufa, what is going on in Kufa? They looked at Imam and they said, sir, we will prefer to give you the news of Kufa in private. We don't want to tell you what's going on in Kufa here in front of everybody. Imam Hussain looked around. These were all his companions. Imam said, no, these are my own people. I don't hide anything from them. I don't hide anything from them. Whatever news you have, just tell us here in front of them. Which leader in this world will do that? When he knows that this one news is going to change the mind or has potential of changing the mind and changing the loyalty of these people. People of Kufa have left before, and now even these people will leave me. But Imam Hussain asks, tell me in front of these people. And they told the story that we saw the body of Muslim bin Aqil and he was being dragged in the streets of Kufa. Imam said, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And matter of fact, Imam went in the tent and shared the news even with the women and the children. So that is the level of transparency of this leader called Imam Hussain. Selfless, transparent. At the Shab-e Ashur, he tells everybody, they only want to kill me. They have no problem with you folks. If they will find me, they will not search for you. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Which leader will say to his followers that you leave me alone? He will use every trick to keep at least few people with him. As what they call, there is a term, the human shield. They try to have some people with them, some innocent people with them, that they are not bombed or they are not killed or something like that. But Imam Hussain says, no, they only want me. And you just leave. Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam was the most determined man. Determination is again a very important thing for leadership. Nothing affected or changed his determination. When everyone was with him, he had the same position. And when everybody left him, he had the same position. And when he had those 70 people around him, he had the same position. And when all of them were martyred and he was standing alone, he has the same position. He has the same position. Hussain didn't change. If you read the books of history, if there are 18,000 people on one side, at least, numbers are at least 18,000, 30,000 and more. And on the other side, there are only 72 people, to maximum 100. Is there any match here, or is there any comparison? If these 30,000 people, they want to kill those 70, 80 people or 100 people, was it difficult for them? It started from 10 o'clock in the morning. It went until Asr. They knew who is Hussain. And they were testing him. They would martyr a few of his soldiers, a few of his friends, a few of his companions, and then they would stop. And then they would wait that maybe now he changes. He lost 10 companions. He lost 20 companions. He lost Habib ibn Mazahir. He lost Hur. He lost Burair. He lost Zuhair. Now go and ask him again. What do you think? Are you ready for bayat? Are you ready to surrender? Then they would go again. And when they martyred everyone, even his brother, even his sons, and he is standing alone, they are again testing him. Because life is such thing that people, when it comes to their own life, that is the big test of the leaders. And they see that no, there is no change in his determination. Shaheed Mutahari Marhum was used to say that matter of fact, it is the otherwise. As Hussain goes through more difficulties and hardships, his determination actually gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And Imam alayhi salatu wasalam taught us a lesson that be determined, have clarity of your mind. When you decide something, think first and then decide. But when you decide to stand with the truth, then no matter what, then you have to stand. And then you don't have to run away. Then you don't have to compromise. And Hussain did that. So Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, just I want to say this and conclude about Imam Hussain. Imam Hussain taught us so much. Imam Hussain, when he was leaving Medina, he made a wasiyat. Matter of fact, he wrote it with his hands. And he gave it to his brother Muhammad Hanafiya, where he says, Ma kharajtu ashiran, wala batiran, wala zaliman, wala mufzidan. I didn't leave to create a mischief. I don't want to create mischief in the society. I am not someone who wants to terrorize people. I am not a terrorist. I am not someone who wants to disturb the law and order. Innama kharajtu li talab al-islah fi ummati jaddi. I am leaving only to bring the reform in the ummat of my grandfather. Wa an asira besirate jaddi Muhammad wa Abi Ali ibn Abi Talib. I want to revive and I want to follow the seerah of my grandfather and seerah of my father Ali. That's it. Very peaceful. Many times people misunderstand. They think that Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam got angry and he took his sword in his hand and he just went there to fight. No, that was not the position of Imam Hussain. He was very peaceful. All what he was doing, he was saying no. And that was his democratic right. That was his Islamic right. You just say no. I don't agree with you. I don't follow you. I don't recognize you. You are a usurper and you have no right to rule. That's it. And he leaves Medina and he goes to Makkah with a plan, with a strategy. He remained in Makkah. Finally, he goes to the Kufa. On the way Kufa, he ended up going to Karbala. But until the last minute, Imam Hussain was peaceful. There were times when his companions asked that, Mawla, this is too much. This is too much. I cannot take it. Please allow me that I shoot him. Imam said, no, I am not going to initiate the violence. I am not going to initiate the violence. I am not going to use the power. I am not going to start the war. We are not here for war. They want to impose war, but we have to avoid. And Imam avoided until the last minute, until the day of Ashur. Imam gave 3 speeches, one after another, and those were long speeches. And after third speech, Umar-e-Saad, who was the chief commander, he said, Hussain, we are tired of now your speeches and we have no more time to listen to your speeches. He threw one arrow to the camp of Imam and he said, this is the start of war. We are starting the war. So Umar-e-Saad, he announced the war by throwing an arrow. But when they started, Imam alayhi salatu wassalam then didn't turn his back. Imam was son of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. He was representative of true Islam. He said, when you are attacked, then you have to defend. Then he defended very bravely and he defended very ably. So from morning until afternoon, this was so small army, meaning how can you divide it into 3 or 4 sections and have someone with alam like Alame Abul Fadl al-Abbas. So Imam alayhi salatu wasalam was a peaceful leader that who wanted to revive the community, revive the society, but peacefully until the last minute. He negotiated. He spoke and discussed and he sat down even with those people with whom even I and you would not like to sit and like to talk. But Imam alayhi salatu wasalam, for the sake of Islam, for the sake of the blood of innocent people, Imam sat down every night from the 2nd of Muharram or 3rd of Muharram till the Shab-e Ashur with Umar Saad for hours and hours and hours and hours to negotiate. So this is Imam Hussain, my brothers and sisters. And Imam Hussain just fought one war. But this one war became the history and turned the minds of the Ummah for centuries. So many initiatives later on took place by taking the inspiration from the Karbala. The name of Imam Hussain became the inspiration and the power. And then its effects are that this is the only man that, if we look back, that who can change this dust of Karbala, dirt, matti hai, matti ko khake shifa bana dena. That is the tasir of Hussain. Yani, meaning this dust or dirt is the least valuable thing. And Hussain makes that khake shifa as one of the holy things. And the legacy of Hussain is that Sajda-e-Shabbiri. That Sajda-e-Shabbiri. So we need to, when we are talking about Imam Hussain, we need to remember these things. The legacy of Imam Hussain is Sajda-e-Shabbiri. Is praying on Afdal time even when there is a jihad and there is a war going on at the day of Ashur. If Hussain can stop war and send Habib ibn Muzahir to seek permission that we want to pray, and then if you want to fight, you can fight, then we need to keep that in mind, that when we are in streets at the day of Ashura, and if this is the time of namaz, then we have to follow the sunnat of Hussain ibn Ali. We have to make arrangements for the prayer, because this is what Hussain did in Karbala and this is what Hussain wants from us. That prayer on time, that tilawat of Quran in the Shab-e Ashur, and then bringing everybody, black and white and slave and all those free people of all kind, Imam Hussain brings them together. And Imam Hussain brings his own family. Imam Hussain, one of his examples, raises his children, raises his family in the true spirit and teaches us how to raise your children. We always hear that sentence in Masaib when it comes to Shahadat of Hazrat Ali Akbar, when he describes Ali Akbar that, "Oh my God, bear witness with me, now a young man is going, who is ashbahun nas, khalkan, wa khulkan, wa mantiqan, bi Rasulillah." Now khalkan is not meaning something big, because he is from that family. If Ali Akbar, his features, his body, his looks were like Rasulullah, so he was from the same family. Khalkan is not a big thing, but khulkan, Ali Akbar is the most similar man or most resembling man with Rasulullah in his character. Khalkan wa khulkan wa mantiqan. That kind of son Imam Hussain raised. And Imam Hussain lived very difficult life. And we conclude with these two sentences. Abul Fazl al-Abbas. Abul Fazl al-Abbas is not an ordinary man. Or he was not only a warrior. By the way, he is a companion of 5 Ma'asumeen. 5 Ma'asumeen. Amirul Mu'mineen, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussain, Imam Sajjad and Imam Baqir. And he was a student of Amirul Mu'mineen. He was student of Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain. So Abbas was not only a soldier, he was an alim. He was arif. He was a man of knowledge and man of spirit and then the man of character. A role model, and what a better role model we can give to our children, to our youth. That alam of Abbas, the courage of Abbas, the wafa of Abbas, Kamar Bani Hashim is actually the best role model which we can give to our youth. Abbas who wore so many hats, Abbas who is a brother, Abbas who is an uncle, Abbas who is a father, Abbas who is a commander, Abbas who is advisor, Abbas who is a representative of Hussain to go and talk to them and ask for one night. Abbas has played so many roles and every role so perfectly. When he is asked to give advice, he gave the best advice. When he was sent as a representative, this was the most difficult job of the life of Abbas, to go and ask something from a man like Shemr. If it was our youth, today's youth, and a father would ask him, if the brother would ask him, if the alim would ask him, Maulana would ask him, this 35 years old young man with muscles, with power, would not listen. You go and say it. I am not going. But the greatness of Abbas is this, that when Maula says go, he goes. When Maula says stand up, he stands up. When Maula says sit down, he sits down. That is actually the character of Abbas. And this character I am reading from the ziyarat of Imam Ja'far-e-Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam for Hazrat Abbas. He says, Assalamu alayka ayyuhal abdus salih. 6th Imam, Ja'far-e-Sadiq, is reciting the ziyarat and teaching the ziyarat how to go and do the ziyarat. Assalamu alayka ayyuhal abdus salih. Al-muti'u lillahi wa li rasulihi wa li amiril mu'minin wal Hasan wal Hussain. If you want to recite salawat, recite all together, inshallah. Character of Abbas is ita'at. Shaja'at and wafa, yes. But actually the character of Abbas which makes Abbas Abbas, that is ita'at. And ita'at, first ita'at of Allah. Sometimes we bypass. We say, Hussain jane te Rab jane. But no, that's not the case. First, muti'an lillah wa muti'an li rasulihi. The Abbas, that who does ita'at of Allah and Rasul, wali Amir al-Mu'minin, wal Hasan wal Hussain. That is the order which our Imams gave us. This is the character of Abul Fazl al-Abbas. And Abul Fazl al-Abbas had only one war one war, and one war of few hours, which he was not actually allowed to go and fight. But within those few hours, Abbas fought in such a way that Abbas, his name became Alamdar. Amirul Mu'mineen was Alamdar in his life for Prophet. But when you say Alamdar, nobody thinks you are talking about Imam Ali. There were so many people that who held the alams before Abbas and after him of Abbas. In those few hours, Abbas held this alam with such sincerity and with such strength that until the day of judgment, the word Alamdar became an exclusive title for Abul Fazl al-Abbas. When you say Alamdar. And another very unique feature of the life of Abbas is that either we have a riwayat also that if you go in the battlefield, if you do jihad, if you get killed, you are shaheed. If you survive, then you are ghazi. But there is only one man in this whole world. There is only one man, son of Ummul Baneen, that he has the both titles, strangely. He is a ghazi and he is shaheed. There is not any other man that he is a ghazi and shaheed at the same time. Abul Fadl al-Abbas, who is so humble when it comes to respecting a Mawla and Imam, that he respects little Sakina also in such a way that a servant as goes and bows down and puts his hands on those little feet of that little Sakina. What is his respect for Hussain? What is his respect for Sayyida? What is his respect for others? That he is so humble even to that little girl, Sakina. Abul Fazl al-Abbas was so humble that he never considered himself equal or an equal brother to Imam Hussain. And he was always used to call himself as servant, as a servant of Hussain. So the life of Abul Fazl al-Abbas is, my brothers and sisters, is another role model. Abul Fazl al-Abbas, a man of knowledge, a man of spirit, a man of ma'rifat, a man of ita'at, a man of courage, a man of determination, and then a man of loyalty. And that's why his alam is now, look around, meaning in the entire world, everywhere you will see the alam is alam of Abbas. This alam is not only the alam of Abbas, this is alam of Hussain. This is alam of Hussain, and when it is alam of Hussain, it is alam of Hassan, it is alam of Ali, it is alam of Muhammad, and Hussain is waris of all Anbiya. Then this alam is not only alam of Hussain, it is alam of Adam, it is alam of Nuh, it is alam of Ibrahim, it is alam of Musa, it is alam of Isa, it is alam of Abu Talib, it is alam of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Abbas stands there for all these people. And alam and this parcham is a stand, and it represents those people, all of them from Adam till Khatam. That is the life of Abbas. I cannot say anything more. Time is almost up. The last few sentences, I will not take you more than 5 minutes. And that is very important. That is the end of this presentation. We are also celebrating the wiladat of Sayyid-e Sajjad. Sayyid-e Sajjad, Ali ibn al-Hussain. Hussain was martyred just once, and Zainul Abidin was martyred and martyred and martyred on every step on his way to Kufa and to Sham and in Darbar and everywhere. One Sayyid-e-Sajjad was martyred almost at every chowk, every gully, every darbar, everywhere, at every step. Unfortunately, we have not realized again the contribution of our fourth Imam. Many of us, we think that he was only crying or he was only a sick man, Bimar, Imam-e-Bimar. In my view, he was the strongest man. He was the strongest man if you compare him with others. Your fourth Imam he has certain titles, and one of his title is he is Adam-e-Sani of Ahl Bayt. Whatever Ahlul Bayt had, it was all finished in Karbala. Imam Sajjad starts the new foundation. Everything, सब जल के राख हो गया था, सब शहीद हो गए थे, कुछ नहीं बचा था इस घर का, इस घर वालों का. And Imam Sajjad starts it again from the scratch. Imam Sajjad, he has another title, and that is he is Nuh of Ali Muhammad. Nuh of Ali Muhammad. As Hazrat Nuh had only few people with him in his ark, and then he went to the salvation, Hazrat Sajjad had also those few ladies and children with him. Riwayat say that more than 3 people, there were not Shias openly that who would associate themselves with Ahlul Bayt. Only 3 or 4 people openly would say, we are still Shias of Ali Muhammad. After this tragedy of Karbala, Imam Zainul Abidin gathers this thing again. जिसे कहते हैं ना राख में से उठना, standing up from the ashes, rising up from the ashes and building it all over again. That is what Imam Sajjad did. His 2 speeches changed. 2 speeches. And this was not the time of CNN. This was not the time of Facebook. This was not the time of social media. 2 speeches of Imam Sajjad. One in Kufa before entering into the darbar of Ibn Ziyad, and one in front of Yazid. These 2 speeches exposed this government, their rule, their tyranny, and it changed the environment so much so that Yazid was not able to keep these qaidis, these captured people, these prisoners of war in Syria anymore. It's not that Yazid had become a good man, but Yazid was exposed by that khutbah of Sayyid-e-Sajjad in a so effective way and so powerfully that he was not able to keep them anymore. Sayyid-e-Sajjad comes back to Medina, and then Sayyid-e-Sajjad within few years built this new legacy, this new community, new tradition with his blood and sweat. So much so that within few years, Hisham bin Abdul Malik comes for the Hajj or Umrah, and he wants to go and touch the Hajar-e-Aswad. You are familiar with the story. There were so many people, so he cannot go. There is very crowded place around. They gave him a chair. They said, you sit down here, wait until there is some chance and you can go. And all of a sudden they saw someone came. Very heavenly individual, down to earth, very humbly he enters in Mataf and he starts doing tawaf. And when he is doing tawaf, people are all making way for him. And it is just as they are now doing tawaf of 2 Kaabas. They are doing the tawaf of that Kaaba and they are doing the tawaf of this Kaaba-e-Iman also. And everybody is as circling around both Kaabas. And when Imam showed his interest that now he wants to go and touch the Hajar-e-Aswad, everyone made the way. Hisham, he saw that I am the crown prince and I didn't get chance and nobody cared about me. Who is this? And according to other narrations that Hisham knew who he is, it was somebody else from Syria that who asked Hisham, who is this man? And Hisham doesn't want to introduce that who he is because he is afraid then people will run after him and they will become impressed by him. So he says, I don't know who he is. And when he says, I don't know who he is, then Farazdak was sitting there. And when he heard that he says, I don't know him, Farazdak said, I know who he is. And I can introduce him if you allow me. And then Farazdak started reciting a poetry and he says, this man, he is the best of the creation. He is son of this house. He is son of Hello Haram. He is son of Zamzam. He is son of Mina. He is son of Safa. He is son of Safa or Marwa. He is son of the best of the best. And then he introduces through all that. Can you imagine that someone who was being dragged in the streets of Kufa and Sham just a few years ago, that man has reached to this level of popularity and this level of acceptance by masses that when people don't care about the crown prince but they care about him? What has happened? That is a question. What has happened? Sayyid-e Sajjad, when he came back to Medina, instead of sitting at home and only crying and only just kind of losing his spirit and losing his what you call the hope, Sayyid-e Sajjad stood up. He removed his astine ulat di, and he got into the work. He said, I will start building from the where my father has left. And I will start from there. Sayyid-e Sajjad got involved in 2 or 3 things. I will just name, I will not get into the detail. Sayyid-e Sajjad focused, number 1, on education. Number 2, the charity. He devoted all his time and his resources in educating the youth of his, first of all, his family and his community and his followers. And you know that Sayyid Sajjad was the one that who produced Baqiro Ilmin Nabiyyin. That Baqiro Ilmin Nabiyyin, the Baqirul Ulum was son of Imam Sajjad. Jafar-e-Sadiq is grandson of Imam Sajjad. These 2 Imams who are icon of knowledge, education, they come from the school and madrasa and the tarbiyat of Imam Sajjad. And Imam Sajjad also he recruited so many other people and he focused on education. He had a big influence on his scholars and on his scholarship. The second thing, Imam went out and he did the charity. He reached out to the people, the poor, the needy, the miskeen. The governments were just caring only about themselves and only trying to oblige the elite. Masses were abandoned and left, and nobody was taking care of them. Imam Sajjad, he went out, and according to history, they say the minimum number is 100 families were under the care, constant care, and the full care of Imam Sajjad. 100 family. On and off, he was used to help so many people. But that people, about 100 families, they only realized when Imam Sajjad passed away, when he was martyred, that now nobody is bringing the food or nobody is bringing that grocery at our doorsteps. Imam Sajjad was used to go and help people, needy, and then he was able to develop that influence over them. And that's why when he was martyred, सबसे बड़ा जनाजा अहले बैत में अगर किसी का उठा है तो वो सैयद सज्जाद का जनाजा था। सैयद सज्जाद जैसा जनाजा अब तक अहले बैत में से किसी का नहीं उठा था। The streets of Medina were all crowded and full, and everyone was just there to commemorate the shahadat of Imam Sajjad. So Imam Sajjad taught us that if you are there, the tragedies do happen, there are ups and downs, there are good and bad experiences, but if you want to stand up, if you want to build it again, and you have to do that, then you need to do these things. Focus on education and focus on charity. Charity for all. A new trend has started. Whenever we have to do charity, we have to make sure Shia है या नहीं है. ये जो trend है ना कि Shia है या नहीं है, this is a new trend. Ahlul Bayt never had that trend. When somebody came at the door of Janabe Sayyida that I am yatim, I am miskeen, I am asir, nobody asked हमारे मानने वाले हो या मानने वाले नहीं हो. It's only yatim, it's only miskeen, it's only asir. And وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا. And they provided whatever they had. And that is the answer, my brothers and sisters. I will leave you with this food of thought that we have celebrated 3 milads, 3 great men, men of courage, men of faith, men of determination, men that who gave their everything to save the message of Allah and to revive the society. And they taught us how to do that. We just need to learn these lessons from the lives of these imams, and then we need to practice that. Recite salawat.
الزيارة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. صلى الله والسلام عليك يا رسول الله. صلى الله والسلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين. صلى الله والسلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة النساء العالمين. صلى الله والسلام عليكما يا إمام الحسن ويا إمام الحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. صلى الله والسلام على 9 المعصومين من ذرية الحسين، علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. صلى الله والسلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان. الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا إمام إنس والجان. عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله مخرجك وظهورك. صلى الله والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Mu'mineen, dinner is served in the banquet halls. Once again, dinner is served in the banquet halls. Jazakum Allah khair.